Got some new things we're going to work on this year with those, and we'll be going over that. Maybe this will get a chance to kind of settle down so the wind won't blow it off. Let's see. Probably enough here too. Get up here a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. Got a bale of straw going here. We're going to be using this in the garden this year, and today we're going to place some of the straw on top of the potatoes and onions that we planted in the last video. And then we're going to do a little prep work too for the tomatoes. That could be coming tomorrow, putting in the tomatoes. We got some new things we're going to work on this year with those, and we'll be going over that. Watching too much YouTube. No, it's good. There's a lot of good things on there. You know where to look. So anyway, but this straw is going to help as a mulch. And basically what I'm really liking about it are two things. Number one, to hold some moisture in. And then second, too, it'll hold down some of the blight stuff that comes up out of the soil and gets onto the tomatoes. Anyway, I'm going to bring some of this over to the garden, and we're going to put some on the potatoes and onions. Oh, the ducks are on there, mad at me now again in here. We'll grab some straw and see how far it goes. I think I'll need more than that. A couple of plates. Ooh, this stuff makes a lot of mess. We're getting into the garden. There, that's 2 plates. You can kind of see how it's hanging on now. Woo! 2 sections. I grabbed a hold of it and this one came loose, and then there was the next one. So, I was going to put this on yesterday, but boy, was it windy. A lot better today. This will get a chance to kind of settle down so the wind won't blow it off so much the next time it gets windy. And this is going to hold in a lot of moisture, which is just what we need. Onions will actually grow right up through there. Might have to encourage them a little bit, but they should be all right. Bugs are out. Should have had a hat on. May have to go get one. I think I will, as soon as I get this plate spread. The hay's a little wet, but it was fresh cut this spring, I guess. Or fresh baled anyway, according to the guy at the store. Yeah, that was what we needed, all right. All right, I gotta go get a hat. Hang on. Well, we're back. We had to get, I'm telling you, it's about the temperature of the surface of Venus here in the backyard with the sun coming down. So I had to get a short sleeve shirt. And then the hat, that really seems to make a difference with the bugs. They just don't want to deal with that. You know, this is going to probably work out really good for these. Get a nice little bed going here, and then we're going to water it. Get it nice and soaked up here, and that'll help out. All right, let's get it watered. Then we'll do the potatoes too. I just got to turn the water on quick. Then you got to run the water out of that hose. before you use it. The stuff that's been sitting there in the sun, it's like bath water. Hotter than that. If there's some in there, should be. I know that sounds a little like a seal, but there's my hose thing. All right. Let's get on this here. Get her water down. Oh yeah. You can, oh jeez, that is some hot. I would throw it up in the air because it's so hot. Whew. You can make a hot cup of coffee out of that. Wow, that's bad. It's really hot in there. Yeah, let's see, we'll probably use this setting here. I just have to figure out the setting. Okay, oh, that's a good one here. Yeah, I think we'll use this one. Got a little orange marker here that shows me where the corner is. That's all I need out there, and I can tell about where the rest of it is. It's got kind of dry here in Minnesota. We could use some rain. Windy though? Boy. The old farmer's saying in that kind of wind is it's too windy to pick up rocks. You see, that actually makes sense if you know that farmers each year in a lot of parts of the country where they find the land, there's rocks that come up because of the frost in the soil, pushes them up new each year. They got to keep taking them off every year. So of course, it's overstatement to say that it's too windy to pick up rocks. And they would just laugh and laugh and laugh. That's the kind of humor they liked back in the day. Yeah, I really wanted to get this hay on here. This has been drying up so fast in the garden here. Put the straw in here. Let's say straw. Get that on here, and that'll help hold that moisture in quite a bit. Just gotta make sure we get some down in there. Then we're going to take a look at the tomato rings. You'll be able to see what I do for that. And we got some ideas this year. We think that we're going to really get after this. Last year was kind of a bust. I was really busy. This year not as bad. So should be able to have a good time. And get some good results, we're hoping. So the aquariums downstairs, of course, we're going to be bringing up some of that fish water. I'm trying that out on here now. I'm reading some good stuff about that. It's kind of almost like adding manure, but it's fish, dirty fish water out of a filter, you know. Stuff we've looked at before. A lot of nitrogen in that stuff. Well, we're going to get the potatoes here before we throw anything on them. I want to do this a little bit more of a pointed method, you might say. I think that's that's not the way I want either. Maybe this. I just want to fill up these little pockets I have here. So you don't really want to spray it as much. And we'll throw some straw on. You know what we're going to be doing here with the potatoes, of course, is making hills. But we're going to get these plants up first. But boy, we battle this dry weather. So that's what we're dealing with here. Get some straw down on here, that'll help out a lot. "14 Hills." I might have these a little tight together, but that's okay. We still get nice potatoes that we eat, so because I always kind of plan them about this close, about 10 to 12 inches, and some bags actually say that, but some say 15. I might have a couple in here that are 15. No, that's it. Maybe. Anyway, I ramble. I don't remember where we left off on the last one, but you can see maybe that I get rid of the rest of that gunk in the center there. I don't know if I showed you that in the last one or not. Or the weeds turned over the rest of that dirt. So we got that ready for the tomato plants are going to go in there this year. That's what we're going to look at next year. I just got to get this done real quick, and then we'll run after that. We're going to title this thing "Getting Ready for the Tomatoes." So, but this is part of it. I had to kind of get this done before I could do that. Oh, those chives, they are really coming up. Their little bulbs are coming on here. All right. We are going to get some more hay. Don't go away. It's a rhyme. He's a poet and he don't know it. No, that's no more rhyming. Jeez. Oh, hi, Kibby. Kibby's up here, my dog. Hi. Can you say something? Oh, she's not gonna. We have it's a Maltipoo. 14 years old. She's been around a while. She does pretty good though. I'm going to take one plate out and see how far that goes on this. Might be enough. Well, let's see. Throw that in. A little nervous about this thing with its tines sticking up. Well, you know, you're not supposed to do that. God forbid you fall on there and, you know, that wouldn't be good. All right. Kind of starting to, I'm stepping on some of this soft soil over here that I got worked up. Gotta get out of there. I think we're just going to get enough to kind of keep these holes from drying up, and put a little bit more maybe too. We just don't want it to dry up so quick. This backyard's got a little runway for air and breeze and wind through here. It dries it out pretty easy. Well, I'm going to easily need another plate. Let's see what we've gotten done so far. I'll be doing some mounding here, so I'll probably rearrange this straw a little bit as the weeks go by. Looking to push some soil up and in there too. All right. One more plate. Boy, the wind. You know, stuff will happen. Got some volunteer strawberry plants over here for them. Look pretty nice. I had a big patch for a while, and then that got to be a problem. And didn't get much out of it. It was taking a lot of space. So we moved away from a patch of strawberries, but I still have some lingering plants that don't want to quit. They survive all kinds of torment and peril. Oh, all the way to being almost uprooted, and they still come back. This will work out just right. You can see it now. Let's see here. All right. I'd much rather have rainwater. This city water here has got a high pH in it. Most of the stuff that although it's ground, so its pH balance is pretty fast because of the ground. It's really high pH water. Very hard water. As we learned in our earlier episodes, aquarium water. Now, this is really old hard well water. As hard as it gets. pH is probably 8.5 at least. We will be adding nutrient here, but I'd like to kind of see them poke up first. I'm going to burn them up or anything. Let them kind of germinate first. They come up. And then we'll get them. Alright, as long as we're set the way we are. Here's what we're looking at next. We've got these homemade tomato rings. The DIY type. There you go. So, I have 4 of one size and 1 of another. So we were putting them together, my neighbor and I. We were really sure we were counting them just right. 4 of them we counted just right. 1 not so much. Oh, we were only off by 1 thing, but you can tell. Now we go for a little different take on what we got going here. We got 2 rings in there. Got the cucumber thing in there too. I'll show you that in a minute. Oh, there's the big one. A nice towel. I'm going to do something different with this. I think I'm just going to have 4 tomato plants, not 5. So we'll see what we're going to do about this one. Keep it out for now. And then there's 2 more the same size. And of course I got the green posts with the white tops on them to pound in to make sure these guys don't go anywhere in the wind. First we're going to locate them. That's the plan right now. I don't actually have the tomato plants, but we want to locate these things. I'll probably get them tomorrow. Now, the big test is what do you think I'm going to get? I've been getting the same type for a while. I probably will do that again. Probably all 4 of them. I messed around last year and I shouldn't even count last year as anything. It was so bad. Okay. That's going to be like one there. You got to look out to get this little pokem things on here that are kind of sharp. So, don't do anything I do. I gotta put a little disclaimer up. Let's see, we'll get a little more room out of this here. Because those potatoes are gonna really come. So, more room. More room for the potatoes. They're gonna get big, always get big. Can't really walk in there then. Alright. Just had a bug do one of those drive-bys in my ear. Just not enough to get you. This is what I got in mind for the tomatoes this year. Let's see. I kind of pushed that out a little. I think I'll go out a little with this here too. Yeah, probably something about like that. It's enough room in between there. Probably enough here too. Get up here a little bit. I think so. Now, these weeds, jeez, you'd think they'd give a guy a break. And this broadleaf weed thing here, they're just a nuisance. Kind of hard to pull out, but when you get them, it's kind of satisfying. Yeah, got him. Oh, darn things. I suppose they have a place, but not in my garden. I don't know. You know, you just step over this and you go, I just got to pull some weeds. If you got a garden, you probably know what I'm talking about. You just get to a breaking point, you go, that's it. I gotta get them. Alright, I can't let this one sit. Too big. Same with this one. And this one, if I can get him. Oh boy, that one's in there. I think we can get him. Ah, it broke off. Alright. That's it for now, for that. The next thing is going to be the cucumbers. You know, I have a thing down here I can use to cut that thing off with. Hang on a second. Hang on. Hold the phone. Oh, it's over by the hay. All right. I'll be right back. In the last episode, I was trying to cut off or get this stuff pulled up here in a wooden pole. I had nothing to cut it with. Well, we do now. There's that. Feels like it was about ready anyway. We got some new growth coming there. This is a late one. So, and then we got some dead weeds there. All right. That's that. I think it might be that I put up, well, we had a post here. You know what? I got to go and get the post whatchamajingy dingy that you use to drive them in. So that's going to take me a minute. I might have to give you guys a break, and then we'll reconvene, and we'll get the cucumber thing up. Well, we're back out. It's going to get loud here. Hang on, here we go. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of spear this in there. And then, this thing here is like, this thing must weigh about 30 pounds. It's not light. Let's get in without breaking anything here. Oh, there we go. All right, so now, you don't want to drop that on your toes. You know, I talk to a lot of people during the day. Seems like it anyway. And one of the things I like to do is to remind them how special they are. I like to think, you know, just the brain box up here. It's an amazing gadget, you know? Well, for most. Well, you know what I mean. I got to thinking, I told my wife earlier. I said, I kind of wish, you know, that a guy could, if it's like a computer and stuff up there, I kind of wish a guy could find the settings button, you know? I'd like to take a look and see how a few things are set. You see, a guy comes on a manual. So, well, there's no screen. I don't even know how you get there, but yeah, no settings. Okay. We thought it was a great idea. So I think the cucumber thing gets a little out of hand too. So we're going to give it some room. Tries to get heavily involved with my flowers here. I think what I'll do first is start down here, as a matter of fact. You can see this big wire cage. It's kind of a cage. I'm going to stretch that baby out in here, but gosh, you know what I need now? Could have used a rake, but I think I'm going to let it go. Let's pull some weeds. Quite satisfying, you know. Let me get those out of there. This is yard grass that grows up in here. The rest of that stuff, I'm not too worried about it. That's not too much of it. Yeah, we'll get the raw poles in here, and then we will loosen up the soil and stuff. I get a kick out of how they put the white thing on the top of these poles. I'm always reminded of the trying to alert airplanes, you know. Must be for the birds, so the birds don't fly into them. That's it. All right, so let's think about this. We gotta have this out of the way so that it doesn't get so involved with the two fences. I'm guessing about here, somewhere like that. Or do I go all the way? I think I go out even more out here. Now that I see that. All right, here's where it's going to get a little loudish. What did I say? I like that. School bellish. Okay. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Sprinklers came on. I gotta shut that off. Hope you guys don't get wet. Let me get them shut down. If you were wondering about all that plastic that I was finding, this is it. I have twist tie things. I hope you caught that, by the way. That was like a near fatality there. Probably not. Probably. I think we'll live. All right. Let's check this out. Here we gotta pull this all down a ways. I'm first going to secure this one, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Now, the trick here is to get this kind of spread out and see where the halfway mark is. There's 2, 4, I count them up. 6, 8, I don't know if I can see it from there. 24, so that's about number 12. Yeah. Somewhere about right down in there, I see the spot. You gotta get a pole. Yeah. Well, neighbor Bob gave me these poles years ago. He bought a farm, and I think there was a lot of fencing on the farm, so he got extra ones. And let's see again here. Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. This one from this way. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. That's what I said. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's about what I said. Something about in there. Hi, you guys paying attention? Oh boy. Alright. What do I do with my gloves? Glove alert. Oh, they're there. I don't want to wrestle that thing without some gloves on, you know. We're going to take her down a ways here. You ready? It's going to get loud. Do her there. So. Okay. Oh, Jesus. About there. Wheel. You know, when you're putting up something that's really tight like this, hard to get that thing straight. That wire is just not cooperating. Sounds like a dog fight. As soon as I started pounding, they quit barking. I guess maybe they didn't like it. Huh. We are ahead of the game here, by the way. It's a good feeling. If I set this on this side of it, that should help to hold it as well. Oh, yeah. There we are. All right. That's as far as we are going to get on this today. It'd be kind of like a part winner. But tomorrow, we're going to get into the tomato plants, and then I have a neat thing that I learned on YouTube about how to keep them watered, and that's a kind of a battle with them. But this guy had a great idea, so I'm going to be doing it. So I'll show you that tomorrow. But that's going to do it, I think, for today. And